What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. Yo, we saw it all coming, everybody. All right, we saw all of this coming. We've been talking about this. All right, we've been just predicting everything that's about to happen with this entire movie from the beginning, really. All right, from the very beginning. Once we saw those comments from Rachel Zegler way back in 22, but really 23 was really when it started to sprout up, those comments from D23. Ever since that moment, it's like it inevitably was going to lead to this. All right. It was going to lead to all of the nonsense that's happening right now, the terrible reviews and the ultimate box office bomb for Disney. It was all leading to this. It's literally like that first domino fell when Rachel Zegler said, weird. That first domino, that was like, and it's like a snaking trail of dominoes. And oh yeah, at the very end, it's going to be a box office bomb. All right, the last domino to fall is going to be a big, gigantic L for Disney for this entire movie. Rachel Zegler's career, you can see it all coming, man. It's like, what's his name used to say? Chick Hearn. You could read it with Braille, right? You could have read this with Braille. The Chick Hearn is a legendary basketball announcer with the Lakers, if y'all don't know who that is. But yeah, you can just see all of this shit coming. Like, we even called this out, right? Snow White bombs on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics rip apart Disney's latest remake, starring Rachel Zegler, despite the early hype. We saw this coming, too. Because remember, like on Saturday, all of the goodie bag gang, all right, the goodie bag crew, everybody had their goodie bags. Everybody got invited to the premiere. Oh, my God, Snow White is one of the greatest things in the entire world. Rachel Zegler is stunning and all of that crap. Remember that? Okay? And I said it at that point in time. All right, but what happens when the critics get this, all right? The people that didn't get a goodie bag, the people that wasn't invited to the cookout. They say, yeah, we didn't get a cookout invite. Yeah, so we ripping this shit apart. That's what's basically happening right now. So yeah, man, look, all of this stuff has been like basically exactly as we predicted. Everything is happening according to the previous design or whatever. It's all going exactly as we saw it would go. There's no mistakes. Sometimes Hollywood does throw you for a loop. Every once in a while, something happens and you didn't see that coming. We saw this coming 2-3 years ago. We saw this coming. Oh yeah, this thing about to be a giant flop. Abort Disney. Is to pull the plug. They didn't do it. Yep, there it goes. 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. All right. 48%. And look, this isn't like, 22, 32 reviews or something. 96 reviews. 96, damn near 100. Might as well say 100 reviews. And out of the 100 reviews, it's getting a splat on Rotten Tomatoes, 48%. Yeah, and look, I know a lot of folks are saying, well, DA, I thought you said the critics didn't matter. I thought you said critic scores don't matter. No, listen, pay attention. Critic scores don't matter to me, but critic scores absolutely matter to normies. All right? Your run-of-the-mill average Joe that's just out there, he's not on social media, he's not online, he's not on YouTube, he don't pay attention to all of this talk, but he does listen to Rotten Tomatoes. He does come to Rotten Tomatoes to see, am I going to spend my hard-earned money on a movie this week? Well, let's check out this Snow White. I was thinking about bringing the kids. What's this thing look like? Oh, shit, 48%. No. See, this number matters to normies and it matters to Disney, which is why they try to goose it up so hard, all right? That's why they bring the cats with the goodie bags and make sure you get this damn thing a tomato. I don't care if you give it a 5 out of 10. It's giving a tomato, all right? That's how they want to do it. But it's not going to make any difference. Because at the end of the day, the critics that didn't get the goodie bags, that got to keep their jobs by giving good reviews, actual reviews, not shill reviews. Yeah, they got to call it like they see it, and this is what they're saying. So yeah, normies will come along. They'll look at this and be like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, we'll wait for it. Disney Plus, it'll be on Disney Plus in a couple of months anyway, like everything else. Ha, 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 ha. Hey, what's going on with Lilo and Stitch? They're just moving right on past this movie. They're not going to give it a second thought. They'll look at that 48%. No, thank you. Nobody wants to waste their money on bad content in the movies, all right? Nobody's trying to do that these days. So, yeah, this score matters, but it don't matter to me, but it does matter to Disney, and it matters to the normies. And look, check this out. IGN, right? Shit even got the dreaded IGN 7. This is like the kiss of death, man. If your project gets an IGN 7, oh, shit, man, we fucked up. IGN gives it a 7, it might as well be a 0. This company can't rate shit. They always rate dog shit 7. 7 is equal to dog shit in IGN's eyes. For some reason, I don't know how that works, but it always equals out to 7, man. Yeah, so movie even gets the dreaded, the kiss of death right here, the dreaded IGN-7. Holy crap. And then, of course, the ultimate question is this thing going to make any bread? You know, that's what Disney actually cares about. Yeah, whatever with the scores, I don't care. Is this going to make some money? All right, is this going to put money in our pockets? Well, MovieWeb says Snow White's disappointing box office weekend could be amongst Disney's worst live-action remakes. Oh, it's already Disney's worst live-action remake. Honestly, where it's at right now, all right, where it's at right now, they're talking about this thing making $100 million worldwide. Not just domestically, worldwide, out of the entire world, all over the world, $100 million. If it does that or less, it's officially Disney's worst live-action remake. Period, point blank, end of story. There's no other way to look at it. Especially when you consider you're adjusting for inflation to some of those other movies. Like Box Office Pro put them up. Yeah, like Box Office Pro put up the list, and these are just domestic totals. But yeah, this is what some of these movies did. Lion King, obviously, you know, made $543 million domestically. Beauty and the Beast had 504. Alice in Wonderland, 334. Jungle Book, 364. Little Mermaid had 298. And look, Little Mermaid was a giant flop, man. This thing was not successful at all. All right. Aladdin made a billy, but out of that, yeah, like, basically, right now, Snow White is looking at Dumbo territory. Dumbo territory for Snow White. This is about what it's looking like, 45 million, somewhere 45, 50 million for the opening weekend. This is probably where it's going to tap out domestically. Now, the real question is, what does it do worldwide? You know, we've been hearing from folks, people have been sending me screenshots. People have been putting it in the comments on some of my videos saying, oh, yeah, nobody's buying tickets over here either. You know? And so now what Disney has to hope for is that there's going to be a lot of walk-up traffic. That's what Disney is hoping for in order to hopefully get this thing across the finish line and not be a complete embarrassment. But what you need when it comes to walk-up traffic is word of mouth, and this is how the word of mouth is looking, at least early on with the critics. Now, what do you think this popcorn meter going to look like over here? Whoa, what do you think the audience score is going to look like? All right? Get ready for the, look, like I said, we've been calling them ever since day one. We've been watching all the dominoes fall. We've been calling them this predictions almost. Get ready for review bombing criticism. Oh, they're review bombing. Oh, they're review bombing. Get ready for it. It's going to be exactly like it was with The Acolyte. They're going to be screaming and crying review bombing, even though the critics right here are giving it a 48%. Are the critics review bombing it? So you ain't going to ever answer that question. All right. But best believe when this popcorn meter is coming in somewhere around, oh shit, I don't even know, man. Probably like in the 30s, you know. I'm talking about like the all fans or the all audience, you know, because they got like the verified audience. The all audience is probably gonna be dog walking this thing. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I just call them like I see them. But yeah, this thing looks like a hot, giant disaster. Let's go ahead and read some of these reviews real quick, though. Here's James Matram from the South China Morning Post. More bland than brave, this corporate-sanctioned, committee-made children's film does not come close to achieving the classic status afforded its animated predecessor. You know, that's a good point. I've heard a lot of people saying, this is just a children's film. This is just a film for kids. And it's like, okay, but so was the original. The original Snow White, you could also say, was a movie for kids. Did you like that original one? Well, yeah. So let's not try to just put it in the kids film category and forget about it. The original was a classic. It was a classic. And adults still love that movie. Hell, I like that movie. I'm not saying I'm a giant Snow White fan, but I think it's a really well-told movie. It's a great movie. And some people just try to brush it off. It's just some kids film. Like, no. Okay? Give kids and give the original Walt Disney classic a little bit more respect than that. Here's Wendy Lee, zany. Rachel Zegler shines as Snow White. The first act started off strong, but the rest of the movie felt choppy and patched together. Godot's evil queen did not work for me, though she looked fantastic. So, yeah. And I've heard a lot of this, too, right? That it was just a put-together movie. You know, a lot of reshoots. You know, they reshot it a bunch of times. And so whenever you get these reshoots, you got to stitch it all together and try to make it make sense. And it really never makes sense when it comes to that. But this guy, Elliot Collins, what could have been a magical reimagining of a beloved classic is instead a middling film with the Snow White adaptation's inability to balance character depth and campy flair, ultimately detracting from its overall impact. 2 out of 5. Carla Hay, cultural mix. Even though Rachel Zegler shines as the title character of Disney's Snow White, the rest of this remake's live-action performances are mediocre to terrible. No magical spells can erase this cash grabs film's unconvincing visual effects and other missteps. This ain't the last person that I've heard say that Rachel Zegler is good in this movie. And what's crazy is, if you sit back and think about it, like, let's say Rachel Zegler is actually solid in the movie. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I can't really comment on her performance. But let's say she really is shining and she is a good Snow White. All Disney had to do is just a shot-for-shot remake. A shot-for-shot remake, exactly like the 1937 evidently sold classic. All they had to do was that, and use real little people instead of CGI dwarves. Keep the exact same story. Tell Rachel Zegler, don't you get out there and say nothing stupid. This thing probably makes $1 billion because you don't have all the negativity surrounding it. You don't have all of this negativity. All they literally had to do is just go out there and just remake Snow White. That's literally printing money. The easiest one they could have done. It would have had everybody behind it. Everybody would have been like, oh, it's great. Even if they did cast this little Latina chick as Snow White, it probably would have did bang up numbers. But again, this is what happens when you get woke, okay? You start like, what do they call this, the football term? Out kicking the coverage, all right? You're doing too much, man. You kicked it too far, and now the coverage can't cover it, You're beating yourself. That's what it is I'm thinking of. You're beating yourself. You're out coaching yourself. You're beating yourself, Disney. All right? You're remaking movies. Just remake them if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, go and make your own original shit and stop trying to put the Snow White label, all these other Disney classics label on top of your garbage. Because ultimately, it's not going to make any difference. You're still going to fail. People still ain't going to show up. This guy right here seemed to like it. The terrific thing about Snow White 2.0 is that they've updated the tale a bit to make our princess a more proactive character. Oh, my God, man. They haven't really altered the essence all that much, with many images and themes echoing the original. See, but it's not Snow White, all right? Just like you said, they might have some images, they might have some themes, but it's not the same. And that's the problem. Again, they screwed this thing up from the very beginning. All they had to do was just go back and say, yo, man, we just going to make the original and just collect money, because it's really just a cash grab anyway, and they don't want to grab cash. They literally don't want to grab the cash. All they want to do is just go out there and preach and proselytize and try to convert people over to feminism, girl boss bullshit. Nobody's rocking with it, and that's why I got this garbage Rotten Tomato score. Good job, Disney. All right. I don't know if this thing refresher, is this it? Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this Rotten Tomato scores. Will it get up into the 50s, maybe even the 60s? Disney's probably right now ringing the alarm and say, hey, anybody that didn't post up their review, post that shit right now. All right, let's hurry up and get this score going. Real talk. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. I think this thing is, look, like I said, it's like that long trail of dominoes. We saw that first one fall. We knew how that last one was going, all right? We saw it coming 2 years ago. It was so obvious. But yeah, Disney never makes any moves. They never change anything, and this is what happens. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.